Hey, what's up? John Sonmez from simpleprogrammer.com. So I've got a few different questions about passing various certification tests. And I got this email. I'm not going to read the whole email because it's sort of long, but this is about passing the CCNA certification, which is the Cisco Certified Network Administrator, I believe, certification. And anyway, this email that I got, it comes from Anthony, sorry. Anyway, the question is about basically, he goes on to say that he has tried to take the exam. He used a Transcender test engine packet and it still failed the exam. And he's not sure if he wants to spend all this time. He's been focusing on this for a long time. He feels like it's going to take a long time to get this CCNA certification, which is a pretty good certification for a network engineer, I believe. So I'm going to kind of back up and answer this in general, like how is the best way to pass a certification? I've passed a lot of certifications myself. I did all the Microsoft, like the Microsoft Certified Systems Administrator back in the day, and then the Microsoft Certified Application Developer, all these, exams. And here's the thing with these, and this might not be the most popular opinion here, but when you get these certifications, usually they don't really reflect on your ability to do what they're supposed to be testing you on. What they reflect on is your ability to take the test. So you can try and study, and I've tried both ways, right? When I was first trying to get my Microsoft exam certifications, I would study. I would study the material, I would read books on the subject, and I just miserably failed the exam. I'll be honest with you. I spent hours and hours studying. And then I realized that, and I did use the Transcender product, by the way, at one point, but and that's kind of the hint towards it, which is I realized that I needed to study for the exam, because these exams cover a huge section of technology usually, and it doesn't matter how well you know it. They drill down into such small level details, and they have certain types of questions. It's like practicing for the SAT, for example. And what you want to do is you really want to study those questions and study those. So that's where these practice exams. You just want to go through as many practice exams as possible that have as accurate questions as possible. And Transcender is probably a good one. But the other thing you could do, and again, this one is probably not extremely popular, but I'm going to tell you straight up, because I'm going to be totally honest here, which is that you can look for brain dumps from the exam, which is where people say what questions that they saw on the exam. And, is this unethical? I don't know. Some people would say it is. But the thing is, like, you're going to have similar questions. They mix up the exams, but you need to understand what kind of questions are going to be on that exam, and you got to take it every advantage that you can if you're going to try and pass these exams and do it as efficiently as possible. I'm not saying don't learn the material, but I'm saying like use these other advantages that you can. The practice exams are probably the best way to go, honestly, but I wouldn't look down on you for looking at a few brain dumps from the exams to get that. And again, I know that's not going to be an extremely popular opinion, but hey, this is the practicality of it. These exams usually, in these certifications, usually don't really test that the thing. They're usually just a piece of paper that you're getting. You have to still learn the thing. And again, I've talked about certifications before. I've got a couple of videos on those, whether I think they're worthy. You can check out a video here on whether or not certifications are good. So I'm not going to go into that right now, but essentially, it's something that you have to test. You have to practice for the exam, and you have to learn the questions that are going to be on the exam. It's just one of those things. And I've done, like I said, at least over a dozen different tests for certifications, and I found that just doing the straight studying approach never works. It's never worked for me. I've had to do the practice questions, and I've looked at a few brain dumps myself, and that's been the thing that's helped me the most. Now, again, did the exams really help me in my career? Not so much, but I got the piece of paper, I got the stamp. So if you're after the stamp, I'm just telling you the best way to do it. Anyway, leave a comment below. Let me know if you have a better way, or if you've passed some exams, what you've done. Honestly, tell us. And if you like this channel, definitely subscribe. Talk to you next time.